Hey, what's up everyone? So today I kind of want to talk about lighting for YouTube videos or maybe for interviews. Now there are a lot of things that go into making a nice looking YouTube talking head type shot and filming a good interview. Stuff like set design, audio, all that kind of stuff. But today we're going to be talking specifically about lights. And one light in particular that we're going to be talking about is this Godox SL200. Quick disclaimer, Godox did send me this light in for review, but I'm not being paid. Godox isn't seeing this video before I release it, and this is going to be my honest and unbiased opinion. So as I said, there are a lot of things that go into making a good looking A-roll shot, but one of the most crucial things is your key light. Now, I've talked a lot about lighting before in a lot of other videos, but I specifically want to talk about what you should look for in your key light and a few things that I think are really beneficial when you're considering buying one for your YouTube space or just using for maybe corporate interviews or something like that. Now, something that I love about this Godox SL200 is that even though it's a fairly inexpensive COB light, it feels like it should cost a lot more than it does. It has a metal yoke, which is going to be a lot more beefy and able to support a lot more heavy modifiers on it than the other type of tilting system that just has like that arm crank. I've heard some kind of not so good things about those, but this yoke system is going to last you a really long time and you shouldn't have any problems with it. One thing to know about this light is that it does run off of wall power only, as far as I know, which I think is perfect for a YouTube studio because you just plug it in, you don't got to worry about charging batteries. And what's also really cool is that it comes with this little remote, which I know a lot of lights these days comes with remotes, but this is actually the first light that I've used that has a remote with it. Typically, I would always just have the control box right on the light stand and I would control it that way. But it's so nice just to have a wireless way to just dial in my light and make it look really nice. I can up the intensity of the light or turn it down, and I can also obviously turn it off. With producing so much light and drawing a lot of power, what's going to happen is the internal fan is going to turn on. What's cool is that you can turn the fan off, and what's going to happen when you turn the fan off is that the intensity is going to be lowered. And I'm going to put my mic a little closer to the fan so you can actually hear what's going on. Something else this light comes equipped with is some FX features. This is kind of supposed to replicate the flickering of a TV screen, I think. And this is a little more like camera flashes. So now real quickly, let's talk about how you would set up your key light when you're shooting a YouTube video or an interview. So right now I have it set up in a spot that honestly doesn't look that bad, but one thing that I like to do with my key light when I'm making my YouTube videos is raise it up and then point it down. Now the reason being is because we're typically used to seeing light come from above a person and not necessarily from underneath, and it's gonna help create a drop shadow on my chin and just be a lot more flattering light. So let me do that real quick. So since it is a little bit further away from my face, I'm going to turn the intensity up just a little bit. So that's how I would set up a YouTube talking head type shot. Now there obviously are some other lights that are playing some key roles to make this whole shot come together. I do have a wand light over there that's just help providing a little bit of visual interest, lighting up my fake plants. I have a hair light over there, which is motivated by the practical, which I have on just to, again, create some visual interest, and it creates some separation because that is more out of focus than I am, and I am the subject. So it's all about creating that separation, but the main thing is your key light. Having it at about a 45-degree angle from your camera and pointed down at you is pretty much always gonna look good. So if you just want a really easy place to start, that's where I would start with. But something that's really cool about this SL200 is it obviously is a COB light with a Bowens mount. So what I have on here right now is a 60 by 90 centimeter rectangular softbox. So what I want to do is switch this out for a much bigger modifier that's going to spread the light even more, and it's going to be an even softer light. So Godox was nice enough to send me this big octabox. So I'm going to try to set this up, and we'll switch this softbox out with this big octabox. All right, so let's switch out this 60 centimeter softbox with the 120 centimeter octabox. Okay, well, that is a much bigger light. Okay, so this is what the 120 centimeter octobox looks like. This is what's nice about having a light that has a Bones mount on it, that there's so many different, very cheap accessories that you can put onto a Bones mount to really diffuse and modify your light. Basically, any Bones mount Fresnel that you want to put on there to really focus your light, shoot it through stuff, or use a huge 120 centimeter octobox to get a really nice soft light on your subject is another perfect use of a light like this. And this is the size light that I feel like a lot of YouTubers use. Basically, the idea is the bigger the light source and the more diffused it is, the softer the light's going to be, and that's what's going to give you the most flattering light on your subject. So this is how I would set up a YouTube talking head shot. This is, typically how I do it. I don't usually use a modifier this big, but it definitely does look really nice. Okay, so as far as lighting an interview shot, there are a multitude of different ways that you can do that, but one go-to that I always do when I'm lighting my interviews is I take the light a bit down, and if the subject is sitting, I try to bring it to about their eye level, and then what I kind of have here on my GH3, this is kind of how I would frame it up if maybe the interviewee was sitting here and then the interviewer was over there and they were talking to each other. That's a really common way to shoot an interview between two people. So my GH3 is got the 12 to 35 on it, and it's zoomed all the way in at 35. So this is giving me about a 70 millimeter equivalent field of view. Then I have the 120 centimeter softbox on the Godox SL200, and it's right there. And what it's kind of doing is it's shining on my face, and then the GH3, it's not necessarily shooting the dark side of my face, but the light isn't parallel to the camera. That's what's going to give you a lot more shape in your shot. And that's just a really easy way to get a nice interview style shot when you're shooting with a light like this. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, it'd be really cool if you hit the like button. And if you would like to check out this Godox SL200, I'm gonna have a link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you'd like to check out some more playlists and videos from me, I'm gonna have those right around here. But yeah, until next time, I'll see you all later. Bye.